Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com here with our fourth practice game with our Lukka surprise featuring Karn the Great Creator deck. We have a lot of interaction, a little bit of ramp, and a Karn. Wish this was a Lukka, but we'll run it. We'll give it a shot. Karn is a legitimate second win condition for us. Playing a opponent with a turn 1 Blood Moon in their name, so we'll see what happens. It used to be you could get a turn 1 Blood Moon out. Preordained, sure. This is Murktide. I'm glad to see this Ottawara come down, Ottawara, whatever, because that's an answer for our resolved Emrakul. Or I should say a cheated in Emrakul. Alright, well we hit our second land, another land for the Karn, but we do not have anything else to do but attack for a big one. Get in there, Noble Hierarch. I think opponents, anytime you're attacking with your Noble Hierarch, opponents are probably very happy that you didn't do something else. We'd have loved to hit another Mana Dork there. Or even better, Lukka. We are a couple turns away, one more land away in our hand before we can cast the Lukka. Looks like this is an Izzet deck. So yield and don't have 6, so I can go fetch up. I mean, they are a turn 1 Blood Moon deck, right? Do we have the Fear? We do not. Alright, well, Ragavan Nimble Pillfiller is a really good draw for getting in there and getting in some damage right now, but I have a feeling that they're holding up some sort of lightning bolt. And what's the likelihood they have a lightning bolt or unholy heat versus spell pierce? Pretty sure the lightning bolt is more likely. So we'll see what happens. Now what do we get is the big question. If this is an Izzet deck, Tormod's Crypt's really good. We could just plus up, and since we don't know what our opponent's up to yet, we could plus up and hope they don't have an answer and they have sorcery and instant. And then go get Liquid Metal Coating and start attacking their lands next turn, as well as dashing in Ragavan. So I think we're just going to plus up. I don't know. I don't normally do this. You normally want to get immediate value out of that tutoring, but given where we're at in the game, I'm really hoping that our opponent can't kill our Karn. And if they do bolt the Karn, we can still get the Liquid Metal Coating, cast it, activate it, start attacking their mana. And this is the hand we were dealt as far as our second strategy of victory. What's more important, Liquid Metal Coating, and they scoop it up. All right. Opponent decides that they are not even going to try. That's too bad. We weren't really going to be drawing anything good. Wow, 4 lands in a row. Whew. Okay, opponent. That's an early scoop, but we're not in the free play either. We're in the best of 3, so maybe they just don't want us to know what they're doing. It looked like Izzet Murktide, so I assume they want us to think it's Izzet Murktide. I'm always torn if I want to bring in the Leyline of the Void against this type of strategy. Definitely hates on graveyards. It's very much a dead card otherwise. I mean, they could just easily they might just not care about it and beat us down anyway, but it does turn off Dragon's Rage Channeler, Unholy Heat, and Murktide Regent. So we'll run it. I mean, we'll try it. We're up a game. We're play testing. Now the question is, what do we take out? We saw the Ottawara, so we know they have a main deck answer for Resolve Emrakul, which incentivizes us to keep our ability to give our Emrakul haste. They saw a lot of 1-drops, so they're probably going to possibly bring in something like Chalice. They saw artifacts. Bitter Reunion is so good. All right. Well, Go down a Bitter Union. Go down. Fatal Push seems really good. I mean, we, again, aren't really sure what we're up against. One Footfall Crater. Could go down a Hierarch, but we kind of need those. Go down a Karn, maybe. That's our alternate win condition, but... Alright, well, we'll see. I have no idea if this is right. It's hard to sideboard with this deck because it is a combo deck and you need your pieces, so... Alright, well, we have an answer for our turn 1 Ragavan. We have a Thoughtseize and we have some redraws. We do not have the Leyline of the Voids. But we, of course, are John, so we can cast it. This is always, I mean, I'm going to keep, and this is one of the challenges of sideboarding, right? Is you put in your hate cards, you end up with a playable 7, and you have to decide, do I really want to do I want to mulligan to try to find my hate cards, or is this, if this was game 1, this would be a keep probably, because we have a way to dig and a way to give haste, and there's our Emrakul, so we pitch it to the Bitter Reunion. So you're like, well, do I go ahead and mulligan for my Leyline of the Void? In some matchups, the answer is yes, against Graveyard Shenanigans. In this matchup where I'm not sure even if how good it's going to be, I guess we could just get a basic swamp. Spare our life total, and they may have brought in Blood Moon. They are a Storm deck. No wonder they scooped. Well, we'll go ahead and get the first Goblin Electromancer and have the Lightning Bolt for the second. Slows us down a little bit. We would rather do Bitter Union, but are they just going to continue digging for lands? Yep, they didn't have a land in there, so that's why. Alright, well, fair enough. It's good for us. Opponent gets a 1-lander with some action. There's our Hierarch. We're right on time. Well, we get punished. The one thing about pitching this Emrakul, which we have to do, is it does tell our opponent what we're doing. So there's not going to be much Lukka surprise unless they just decide not to pay attention, which sometimes happens. Yep. Not sure why you do that before. You might want to wait to see what we pitch at least. So you do have the choice of putting something in your graveyard, but I guess Storm is probably just, they know what they're doing no matter what. Man, we would have liked to have hit. Leyline of the Void is a good card against our opponents. So, so next turn what we can do is bolt their Goblin Electromancer, stick this Hierarch, set us up for a Leyline of the Void after that, which should have a pretty good effect on our opponent's ability to win. Oh, they didn't even run out there. They're going to save the Electromancer for when they can go off with it, I guess. Well, they're going to tap down our land. Sneaky, sneaky. Sure. They're just digging from their own lands, I imagine. There's a Thoughtseize. Joke's on you, opponent. We have another land, so we need to get a black source. We need to get a green source, and we have the red source in our hand. So get the Overgrown Tomb. I guess we probably should have Thoughtseized first. Let's talk about sequencing issues. Pact of Negation. Pay 5, you lose the game. I don't think we're in any worry about that at the moment. We have 2 Lightning Bolts. What is their best way of winning right now? Desperate Rituals, obviously good. Looks like they're trying to. Hopefully, they're looking to. Yeah, we might be. I mean, they might be able to go off here. We can't take both of their things. So they may be able to draw. What is this? Okay, I don't know. We'll see. This isn't good for us, though. We'll take the brawl. Now our shields are down for the lightning bolt, so this is their turn if they hit a land where they might be able to chain together spells and win, so that could be a misplay on our part. Now if they don't chain together lands, if they don't make a land drop and then chain together spells and we draw Lukka, I think we just win. Otherwise we probably will go ahead and run out this. Alright, so it looks like they're just going to try to go off with what they have, which is now they can cast their Electromancer, make everything cheaper. So we might be learning a lesson about Storm. Don't tap down, keep your lightning bolt up to ruin their fun. Let's see if they have what they need. Lots of redraws, lots of mana now. Gifts ungiven? Nope, no, they're lucky, but they might be able to find it. Yeah, I mean, looks like we should have played things a little bit differently, a little bit more cautiously. They still may fizzle. They didn't have it in their hand. We had the Thoughtseize to try to disrupt it, but they had two of their enablers. So with the two bolts in hand, we probably should have Thoughtseized first, like I said. That was a sequencing issue. If we had Thoughtseized first, we would have seen that they had two of them. We would have taken one and had held up the mana to bolt the other one. Still, we're in a position where we can play this ley line and lightning bolt. It looks like they're fizzled. And with the ley line on the battlefield, they're not going to be able to do their gifts ungiven shenanigans. But they will grape shot us for a whole bunch. Are we just dead though? We're down to one. One is not a lot. I think if I'm doing my math right, they're going to kill us to 0. Man, how did we fetch shocked, Thoughtseized all the way down to 9. So unfortunately we're dead to attacks right now. Oh, they took out our hierarch. Okay, that's why. So we could mountain for the, I don't know which one. I honestly don't know which one's better right now. Okay, well, that's what we got. They're down to one card that we maybe know about. See what they draw, if they can get up to anything here. Metamorphose is good for them. Redraw with some mana. They're one lightning bolt away from winning, or one grape shot away from winning at this point. What is our best draw right now? Karn, maybe? We always have this ley line. Ooh, Lukka is really good. So they were right to hit our ignoble hierarch, because now we are dead to a dashed Ragavan, our lightning bolt. Looks like they just hit a land. They are correct to hit our ignoble hierarch, because now we are left with. See, why does it? Okay, I'm confused. Because in one game I played, it wouldn't let me shock myself to death, and now in this game it looked like it gave me the option. Anyway, they were right to take out the ignoble hierarch, because that would have allowed us to play this Lukka and get our Emrakul. We can't Thoughtseize, so that's no fun. We could go ahead and run out this Lukka and hope it resolves. We know one of their hand. I think one of their cards is a Pact of Negation. I'm not sure what to do, because if we plus up the Lukka, we're likely to hit one of the cards we need to win. We're going to hold off and wait one more turn. Hold up this Fatal Push. Next turn, if we draw a land, we can do Lukka and hold up the Fatal Push to keep them from just casting one of their 2-drop creatures and then going off. Definitely been a close game after our opponent stumbled on mana. I think the turn we Thoughtseized after playing a land is where it went wrong for us, where we could have seen what they had, held up the lightning bolt, prevented some of their... I mean, they might have still been able to go off all at instant speed. So it may not have been a misplay, but... Or it may not have been that punishing of a misplay since they... Yeah, I'm waiting on them. Preordain, sure. Looking for an answer. I mean, they're just a bolt or a grape shot away. I'm trying to find that grape shot in the graveyard. That's what I was looking for. It's a sorcery. Alright. I don't even know. Dash Ragavan, Karn to get an Elixir of Immortality to gain a little bit of life. Those are some of the good draws. Creature. Mana Dork would be good. Yeah, I mean, we're dead. Alright, opponent. Well done. And there's our Mana Dork. So, just in time. Alright, so Leyline's good. Otherwise, I mean, Chalice on 2 is always good. Tormod's Crypt, but those are things we can fetch up. Just run it back. Opponent had enough ways to stall us out. We hurt ourselves. I mean, we took our life total down to 9, and that was enough for them to put us in death range with a big grape shot turn. All right, well, Thoughtseize, and yeah, we'll keep this. We have Thoughtseize into Ragavan beats. So I think what we'll do here is I mean, I always like to run out the Ragavan. This might be the wrong play given our current hand, but we're going to run it out. We're also going to be hurting ourselves quite a bit. Next turn we can Thoughtseize and hopefully take one of their 2 mana creatures as well as cast into Ignoble Hierarch. And if everything goes well, which it looks like we'll get an attack in, play the Hierarch, attack, get a treasure, Thoughtseize. There's our Lukka. All right, so new plan maybe. Next turn, if we cast both Hierarchs, we'll be 1 land away, and with the treasure, we'll just be there. So I'm still not sure I want to run it out, though. Let's go ahead and get in for our attacks. That was a misplay, though. We definitely wanted to cast the Hierarch first. I'm very distracted now by what I want to do with these Thoughtseizes. Yeah, that was stupid. Wow, what a punt. Yeah, because our plan was going to do Hierarch, hit for 4 that turn. Man, what a misplay. All right, so do we stick to our game plan? I think I'm leaning towards the Thoughtseize action, but we should at least ran out 1 Hierarch. To get in an extra piece of damage. Gifts Ungiven. So definitely take this Baral. We could go ahead and cash in the treasure token for another Ignoble Hierarch, but if we next turn get in another Ragavan hit, then what was their hand? All right, well, I think next turn, if we get in another Ragavan hit, we should be able to cast this Lukka and get an Emrakul down, and then that's going to really put our opponent to the test. See what they draw. I mean, they shouldn't be able to go off this turn, even if they do draw one of their 2 mana enablers. Hopefully they don't draw a Grape Shot, because then they can string together enough spells to wipe our board of creatures. We do want them to tap out, so Consider would be great. Preordain, even that, I mean, something that taps them down. If they don't tap down, we'll run it out anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we hit the land, we just can attack first, get a treasure, Thoughtseize, make sure the coast is clear, then do the Emrakul. Oh man, I can't believe I didn't cast a Hierarch first. Oh, I would have put him at 15. It's just, you want to play cleanly no matter what, even if, and 15 is a magic number, as we know. Emrakul happens to hit for 15, so yeah, that was the most basic of punts, but hopefully it won't come back to punish us. Opponents in the tank, I mean, we know they have a land. Wonder if they're trying to figure out math or what their best line is with what's in their hand. Okay, sad face. So now we really want to land. So opponent drew the bolt. Come on, land. Land is what we need. Land. Another Lukka is really awkward. You know our opponent drew the lightning bolt. So they're going to do a consider. I mean, that's their payoff card. Well, it does slow us down. That's unfortunate for us. It gives our opponent another turn, but what we can go ahead and Thoughtseize away their Gifts Ungiven. A land there would have been best, obviously. And if they draw a fire, then we're in real trouble with this Lukka. So, I mean, they have a lot of live draws to nerf our game plan, including just holding up removal. I'm surprised they lightning bolted on the turn, on our turn, but I do that sometimes too. Yep. Not sure you do this either. I mean, I don't play Storm, so take the Gifts Ungiven. So I don't know. I can't speak to. I mean, I'm sure our opponent knows how to play better than we do, but I think I would let that resolve because you never know. You might draw something that I'd rather take, but and then you cast it after I Thoughtseize. But you know, I'm not a Storm player. Storm, man, this is the second time I played Storm. Maybe it's making a comeback. Yeah, it's second time in like a month, but will our opponent have drawn an answer for our Lukka? Will they draw an answer to kill our Ignoble Hierarch? Will they tap out? They drew a land. Are they able to string together enough spells to ruin our fun this turn? Alright, I don't remember seeing a they must have drawn one of these cards off of the Surveil. Okay, keep tapping down. Keep tapping down. That's what we want to see. I feel like, given our opponent's gameplay so far, they would have killed one of these Hierarchs on their turn already to keep us from casting what we want. Land? We would still like to hit a land here. Upkeep stop never makes me happy. Leyline. Not ideal. Hopefully it will not matter though. Our shields are down. See if our opponent can do 12 damage to us before we get to attack with Emrakul. And this is one of the Storm does have the ability to go off on their own turn if they find the right cards, and just another example of how Emrakul on the battlefield, if it can't attack, it doesn't get there. We'll see though. We did our game plan, turn 4 Emrakul without haste. Will it be enough, or will our Storm player have cobbled together the necessary cards they needed? I feel like we only know 2 of their cards, and they're both